Hello, everybody. How's it going? Ben Gothard here, founder and CEO of Gothard Enterprises, author of CEO at 20, a little book of big dreams. Today, we are talking to Chris Jones. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, Benny boy. Ready to get another video flowing, son. Let's go.
Hell yeah. All right, dude. So, Chris and I were talking about investments, and we were just talking a little bit about, whether you want to you want to use your own money or whether you want to use somebody else's money and get an investment. And so, we were talking about it, and then we were just like, hey, this could be potentially very valuable for people. Why don't we just hit a quick video and drop some value bombs? So here we are. Chris, my man, can you talk a little bit about how to secure an investment without using your own money?
Okay. When it comes to business and my experience, I've only been involved within business for kind of the last 2 years. So, I'm not one of those massive business guys that knows everything, all the ins and outs of how things work. But what I have got is real life experience when it does come to pitching investments and then potentially people getting investments from myself, being asked on Facebook, whether it be, a simple ask for money or a more structured business plan. Now, obviously, by going by those two options that I just said, a structured business plan, which sounds very sexy and appealing, or just a very simple ask. Now, obviously, this one, number one, sounds better than this one. So, and this is the thing, if you don't have any money starting a business, that's not the end of the world. My business advisor tells me, and my mentor, who I speak to on a few times a week, he says, money is the easy part. If your ideas are brilliant, then the money is the easiest thing to get in the world. And I started to think about that, how is that possible? And I've been thinking over the last 6 months, is that really correct? And it is. I've had experience with it. And, when you do have a great idea, people with money, they don't want to be the driving force in the work. They don't want to be staying up all hours of the day to do the work. And if they can invest in someone who has that drive, that passion, and that brilliant idea to bring it forward and drive whatever it is they want to bring to life, then that is an investment worth investing in. And remember, it's not always the idea. While it's the idea to a certain degree, it's always the person with the idea who's brought that information to the investor. You've got to show up to a meeting. If you organize a meeting with an investor, and you better be confident in yourself, your product, your pitch, your voice, your tonality, everything. Because if you go in there with a very dry persona, yeah, I'm looking for an investment and blah, 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 then it's going to be a very short-lived conversation. Get out. Bye-bye. See you next time. On to the next. You've got to be very prepared in, the overall dress sense. You've got to look good. You've got to sound good. You've got to make everything flow as is, in line with your vision, connecting with your personality. Everything has to be right. I'm not saying to overwhelm yourself and fear the thought of pitching an investor, because that's not how it has to work. You just have to be confident in your product, your business plan, and the way you're presenting it. And if you can combine those three, then you're going to do very, very well. People often come to me and say, Chris, I haven't got any money. How do I do it? I'll have to save up for a whole 12 months and work until I can get this $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, whatever it is. The fact of the matter is, you do not have to do that. I can remember pitching an investor for my first business in the first week when I was in debt by $4,000. You don't have to. You just have to have that passion and drive and confidence to approach someone who has that capital and who is willing to work with someone with such a drive who can push things forward so they can take a step back and relax themselves. It's the same position, Ben, same position I'm going to be in hopefully 20 or 30 years from now. We don't want to be the tigers chasing down the gazelles. We want to be the parents watching the cubs chase down the gazelles and bringing the food home. We want to relax. We want to have lions. We want to, watch movies at night. And this is where it comes in. I'm not going to say the older person, the better when it comes to pitching an investor, but definitely the wiser and the more sensible person you want to team up with in business in general. So, yeah, I've rambled on a bit there, Benny boy. Sorry. I hope that's helped.
Dude, that's perfect, and I'm freaking loving the lion analogy. That's awesome, man. So let's go step by step, right? First of all, when you're going to get an investment from somebody, you have to identify who that person is, right? Chris, if you were to maybe give some insight on how to find that person that you want to get the investment from, what kind of things are you looking for when you're going to get an investment from somebody, right? Like what are you looking for in that individual?
Okay, so that's a very, very good question. It was often looked past, especially in my experience when I hear about like horrendous pitches. It's always when someone's pitching someone, what's the first thing and the only thing they're thinking about? It's the money, it's the financials, it's the monetary everything. Yeah, I've got to get that money. That guy's got 50 grand. I know he has. So I'm going to pitch him with such a good idea where I can have that money for my business startup. Now, what is very looked past when that happens is the actual person. So the personality, exactly like you said, Ben. So, the average pitch would be, yeah, I'm looking for this money and so on and so on. And the main focus is solely on the financial part. Now, to me, the first thing I will look at is, I'll cross-reference if this guy or lady potentially has the investment that can back me. But one thing and one massive important thing that I'm looking at is the personality, the drive, the character, to see if I can work with that person. Will they connect with me? Will it be a very short-lived business relationship if I was to step into this too fast? And also, one thing that people really need to focus on, and this is something that I've really grown up and experienced over the last 2 years, is you want to go into business with someone who can help you with your weaknesses and your strengths can help them with their weaknesses. When you have that partnership, one of you can really focus on tasks that you're bad at and vice versa. And that really is a perfect partnership. Even though your strengths are going to be combined, it doesn't mean it's going to be the perfect partnership because not everybody knows everything, but it's definitely going to minimize risk and hopefully maximize your gain in the short and long term when it comes to business relationships, business experience and building, and also the revenue and all of the good stuff that comes with the sales. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I just want to give my 2 cents in on that too, because when you're looking for an investor, right, you're essentially saying to this person, hey, be a partner with me on this one thing, right? Or potentially, let's establish a partnership for a more long-term, idea, a more long-term journey with that individual. So if you're looking for a partner in that, that's somebody that you're going to need to be working with on multiple things on a day-to-day basis, right? And so what I would look for is integrity, first of all, right? Is this person trustworthy? Can you trust what they say? Do they have a good reputation? Are they known to, when they say something, do they always back that up, right? Would you introduce them to your grandma, right? Would you feel comfortable bringing them around your family, right? And you may not ever do that, but it's the point of, do they have integrity? Are they somebody that you trust and that you would want to do business with? And also, like Chris said, when you're looking for somebody to partner with and you're getting this investor, they need to be able to play off of your weaknesses, right? And I think that was a brilliant thing that you said, that you have certain strengths and they have certain strengths. And if those things don't mash up, right? Like if y'all are both strong in one area, then you might be butting heads on certain things. But let's say one of you is really good at speaking and the other one's really good at writing. Okay, well, that's perfect because now y'all have those 2 different fronts that you can both go and you can kill it at. So I thought that was great, Chris. So now that we've identified who it is, right? How would you go about approaching them? Like the first time you approach them, what would be that approach? What would be that initial conversation? What would that look like?
So first off, we need to establish who is it we are approaching. I would definitely leverage the power of social media with this. I'm not going to go off on a tangent and say I've got massive experience in finding investors. What was I going to say? But what you want to do, and one of the most important things you can do, is speak to as many people as you possibly can. That be online, that be offline, that's saying hello to the person who's serving you in the shop. That's to the person you're walking down the street. Put a smile on your face. You never know, for the person you say hello to, what they can bring you back. So, don't shy away from any new relationships, any new adventures when it comes to meeting people, always put yourself out there in full personality, persona, and character, and really just show your drive and passion for life, and show that person, whoever that is, that you want more with your life. You are hungry just to, break the status quo and just do something totally different and unique. So the actual finding of the person, to be honest, I can't answer that because if you want something bad enough, and I know this comes down to maybe the BS self-development stuff that people don't want to hear, but it will fall into place if you want that game enough. Yeah, and I think in my experience, because I've been so hungry for my vision, it literally has fell into place for me. And then it just starts to build great momentum. And you find yourself looking back and thinking, okay, how did that happen? Did I meet that guy at the gym? Did I meet that guy in a coffee shop? Did I meet that lady on the street? How did it happen? So that all starts with a conversation. So open your mouth, say hello, wave, get talking, buy someone a coffee, take someone out for a meal, do something different, stand out, be unique, be yourself, and get it done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the things that I want to add on that point, Chris, is how important it is that you talk to them and that you approach them in the appropriate way. Okay. I can't tell you how many times people just randomly will message somebody else and say, hey, what can you give me? Like, that's the first thing they said. And that is, in my opinion, the wrong way to go about it, right? If you are going to somebody and you are trying to get them to invest in your idea, the conversation should be, hey, let me provide value to you first, right? Let me share with you my idea. Let me share with you some value. And then maybe if we find that we work together and we jive and we click and it's a good partnership, then we can move forward, right? And just a quick tip on how to provide value to somebody, how to start building that relationship. And this has worked for me every single time, right? This works for me every single time. You go to that person and you say, hey, can I buy you coffee? Or can I get you lunch, right? And a lot of people think, wait, they have the money. Why aren't they buying me lunch? Well, it's because they don't need to do you a favor. They don't need you at this point in time, right? So you reach out to them, you do the favor for them. And then when you get there, right, ask them this question. Ask them, what is your story? Okay. And listen to them talk, genuinely listen, be interested, because you're doing a few things here. One, you're building rapport. And two, you're trying to figure out if they're a good fit for you, because you don't always know, right? You don't always know if they're a good fit for you. They might be really interested in your idea, but you might not want them as an investor, right? That being said, once you're at that table and you progress the conversation to the business and to the investment, you mentioned earlier that it helps so much and it is necessary to have a plan, right? To have some sort of detailed business plan laid out. Can you maybe give a little bit of insight on why you need it and a little bit of potential structural tips on how to build that plan?
For sure. I've got a meeting tomorrow. So I've got a little plan on my computer, on my other laptop. So give me 10 seconds to pull this up and I can go through the actual brief of what I've put together and what it kind of looks like and so on and so on.
Brilliant.
Now, when it comes to all of this stuff, you have to be yourself in terms of, when that's entering a new relationship with a girl, with a guy, whatever it is, you have to be yourself in terms of, don't be pretentious, don't be fake, don't be false, because if you're entering this meeting like that and it goes according to plan, then after that agreement is taking place, then you're going to have to come out of your shell, that pretentious mode, and be yourself. And that could throw off the whole deal, because that shows like a split of personality. So never go in and be someone you're not, because that's not worth it. That'll just draw too much attention and energy off your mind anyway, and the business won't last, in terms of my opinion, in connection with that business partner. Unfortunately, my laptop's just died, so we can't go through that. So when it comes to structure, what I like to do is I like to focus on the most important thing personally to me, which is the idea and how you can pitch that idea. Whether you're at Whether you're at the desk and you've got the whiteboard here and you're pitching it, your hands have to be right, your tonality has to be on point, everything has to be swift, to the point, confident, precise. So whether you're standing up doing it or whether you're sitting down, very focused across the table or by the side of your investor, potential business partner, everything has to be very confident. And when it comes to cost and breakdowns and stuff, if this isn't your strong point and you're the idea guy, that's fine. That's totally fine, because the person you're potentially pitching, hopefully they're the cost guy, they're the numbers guy. If you've got that creative spark, and that's me, I'm not a management guy, I'm not a numbers guy. Okay, I'm the creative guy. I am Chris Jones. I like to put content out there like a little beast, and I just like to have fun while doing it. Now, if you can connect with someone who can push you forward when needed and pull you back in terms of spend, management of emails and all of that stuff, then that's a great fit. So always have structure in terms of the plan, whether that comes in terms of on your laptop or you print it to take there. Make sure, as I say, I've got someone on here that I really want to put the knowledge bombs, as Benny would say. Again, I'll just end it with, make sure your ideas, you get all of your ideas out there so they can see the full potential of what you're trying to bring to them. And don't leave anything behind. Don't leave any stone unturned. Remember, you're going in for this. And the mentality I always have if I'm going in to pitch an investor is one or the other. And that's, I'm either going to get a yes or I'm either going to get a no. And even if it is the worst of outcomes, I'm going to learn and I'm going to gain experience, and I will speak to the person after and say, what could I have done better? And then the next person I pitch, I'll be much more confident. If they say no, then it builds, and it's only a matter of time before the slam dunk comes, baby, and you're just like, but you get the point. You get the point.
And I think, Chris, what you were saying about, if you're not that strong with numbers, then find somebody who is, right? You can go on like Upwork.com and you can get somebody who's really good at Excel and just say, hey, build me this spreadsheet for a few dollars an hour. And then in, 20 hours or something, you just bam, you have the spreadsheet, right? So don't get discouraged if you can't put all these different pieces in place. It's fine. Figure it out, right? Like we're entrepreneurs. That's what we got to do. But I also really like what you said about being genuine, right? Because I think that is one of the most important things. Because like you said, let's say everything goes according to plan and you were kind of putting up this facade when you were talking to this investor, right? One of two things is going to happen. I mean, there's probably more, but one of two things that I want to talk about is going to happen. One, you're going to have to continue that facade for as long as that business relationship goes up, which is horseshit. You never want to have to fake it, because then you're spending so much of your brain power trying to fake it. You can't spend all your brain power being you and being awesome. Or you're going to let it all come out, and that's what's probably going to happen. It's all just going to come out, and then that person's going to be like, oh, what the hell? Who is this who is this new person that just showed up the second I wrote them a check, right? So, definitely be genuine. And I think that's amazing what you said, Chris. You got to be yourself. You got to just let it out, for better or for worse. Because if they are somebody who is going to be a good fit for you, a good partner for you, for the real you, think of how much better that's going to be in the long run, right? Yeah. You can do your thing. You can kill it. You can do the things you're trying to do. They can do their thing. They can kill it. They can do the things they're trying to do. And it'll all work out in the end, because y'all are doing what you want to do. I also like what you said, and I know I'm going on a tangent now, but it's fun, so I'm going to keep doing it. And I think it's important to talk about it, is that if you get told no, right? And like Chris was saying, it's either a yes or it's a no, okay? Chris, I think it's either a yes or a not yet, right? I think it's a yes or not yet. I never think that we could accept it as no, because it's not a definite thing, right? It's not a definite thing. It's the same thing like when you're trying to hang out with your buddy. Let's say you're trying to go hang out with your buddy and you're trying to go skydiving, for example, right? And at first you're like, hey, dude, you want to go skydiving? And your buddy's like, I don't know. It's kind of scary. I don't know if I have the money. I don't know if I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, all right, cool. The next day you come back. Hey, dude, you sure you don't want to go skydiving? Right? Just keep coming back at it. Learn from it, like Chris said, and just keep coming back time after time. Yeah. Eventually, Either that first person's going to say yes, or the new person's going to say yes. Somebody's going to say yes. You just got to figure out who it is, right? I was talking to a brilliant gentleman not too long ago who he sends out newsletters on a regular basis. He owns a company that does that. And he was saying that in a few businesses that he built and sold, he sold a few businesses, he literally had to go sell door to door. And it would take 2 to 5 times of asking a customer to buy before they would actually buy. If they don't say no in the first place, who cares?
Yeah.
Just dust your shoulders off, right?
Yeah.
Put your entrepreneur hat back on, learn from it, and keep going.
It's similar to asking a girl or asking a guy for their number. I mean, you get rejected, you get rejected, you get rejected, you get told no, 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 and then maybe it takes that 117th time, but you will get that yes, and you will get that number, and you will get that Tinder match, baby. So do not put that phone down. You pick that phone up, you give that girl or guy a call, and you get typing on that Facebook, you get typing to them on that Instagram, and you keep doing your thing until you get the girl or guy your dreams, baby. I'm with you. Keep going. Stay motivated, stay hungry, and stay foolish, as our main man, rest in peace, Steve Jobs, would say.
Absolutely. So, Chris, I think we've done we've done a nice little job of summarizing this one part. I actually think this is a hugely important topic that we might go into a little bit more later on if you guys are digging it. So if you have any questions specifically about this topic, you want to know more about something that we've talked about, drop a comment. If you want to know something additional that we didn't touch on as much, drop a comment. Let us know what you want, and we will answer you because we are here for you. We are here for you, beautiful, glorious people. There's nothing that you can't do. Yeah, what's up, Chris?
Ben, can you tell them, can you tell the good people watching this that this communication aspect ends in 7 days' time, and what does it turn into? Go on, tell good people.
It turns into us being in the same freaking room because my man Chris is coming to New Orleans, and we're going to kick it, and we're going to be dropping massive value bombs all over the place, 23.8 hours of the day, because we got to sleep a little bit, but not that much, because mostly we'll be dropping value bombs. So everybody, you can do anything. There's nothing you can't do. If you're lacking the money, get an investor. If you're lacking the courage, keep trying, you'll find something. Go for the little wins. Whatever it is that you are trying to do, you can freaking do it. And you know what? It may sound a little fluffy, but it's the truth. It is real. What you put in your mind and what you fixate your brain on is where you're going to go, and that's what is going to lead to next results. If you have your mind on getting an investor, I need money for my company, I need to get an investor, I need capital, and you keep doing it, and you learn about it, and you talk to people, and you try, and you build, and you fail, and you learn, and you try again, and you try again, and when you think you're done trying, you keep on trying, eventually you will get there. I love you guys. Chris, thank you so much for jumping on this call. I will see you soon in New Orleans, my man. To everybody else, let's build a better world together.